Love is simply one word. It's unspoken. The foundation of life. What is this all about? There is no greater narcotic on this planet. You can line them all up and it won't come close to the dopamine hit that you get from love. Because love don't even have to touch you to make you feel some kind of way special. Welcome to the Art of Love with Dr.O, and I'm yours truly, Dr.O. My love angels out there in love land, how y'all doing? How the world treating you? Remember, don't chase after this world because it'll keep on spinning on you. All you have to do is just do you, and this entire universe will come to you. Remember that. Remember that. You know, another thing I need to throw in there, always remember, love don't reach for your pockets. It reach for the heart. Say that with me. Love don't reach for your pockets. Love reaches for your heart. For the last time, love don't reach for your pockets. Love reaches for the heart. We have some questions today on Ask Dr. O that I'm going to get into here. Dr. O, is love enough? Is love enough? Because you can love someone but hate the things about them or the things they do. Again, is love enough? And this is coming from Christopher from Texas. What you doing out there in Houston, Christopher? Is love enough? Who's that special somebody in your life that you asking this question, Chris? Who's that special somebody? Is love enough? You know, often enough we get into relationships and that energy, that magnetism that brought us together, it's so blinding that we don't see the other things that come along with it that might not be as nice or pleasing or soothing as the things that energy that brought you together. You know, some people, after they move in with someone, they realize that, wow, man, this cat snores, or she snores real loud, or there's certain things that an individual might do that might not be as pleasing to you as that magnetism that got you together. And that goes back into one of the things I used to say about back in the days when we had courtship. See, the elders oversaw the courting, and they knew the individuals better than the individuals knew themselves and knew whether or not if it was a good mate, a good match. But nowadays, all it's gone. It's all gone. And you have to put it on the scale. You have to put it on the scale. You know, it's different if you met somebody in church and you guys are going to church every week and everything's all beautiful, and then all of a sudden they want to start doing drugs and join a cult. Okay, now that's something that's dramatic that you can say, you know, she didn't present or he didn't present these issues in the beginning of the relationship. It just popped up out of nowhere, and I love him or her, but these are just some things that I don't know. It's a deal breaker, you know? And these are the things that you work out when you meet someone. You ask these questions to see if it's worth you taking another step further with this individual before you get so wrapped up into emotions and feelings to where if you sever it, it hurts. See, if you iron out this in the beginning, and that starts with truth, that starts with you being honest with yourself, because a lot of people, they meet people and there's stop signs on people's foreheads, and people think the stop sign's just going to go away. No, whenever you come to that corner, it's going to be there for you. And ultimately, whoever's standing at the altar is ultimately who they're going to be. You want to kind of, you know, reach high so that if there's a fall off, you're still kind of where you want to be at. So, you know, is love enough? You know, you have to ask yourself, is it love? You know, because when I was a kid, there was a young lady that I admired, and I didn't see the holes in her shoes, the holes in her jeans, or it was just based on the energy, the vibe of the individual. And I think that if we get back to the sandbox love, of understanding who that person really is that you're courting, then it'll make things a lot easier. You have to just scale it, you know, ask yourself, the things that I don't like, do they outweigh the things that I do like? You know? And if they do, then you have to ask yourself some questions. But if they don't, no relationship is perfect. Don't run from something that's a blessing. You just have to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself and say, first and foremost, if you're a love angel, if you're not a love angel, then remember, in order to become a love angel, you have to apologize to yourself. You got to look in the mirror, apologize to yourself. So if you haven't done that, you can start there and be honest with yourself about this person that you say you love. Is love enough? Well, it all starts with you. I got another question here. Let's see here. Who am I dealing with here? That would be I love my man. And why is there always a but? You see on these talk shows, I love you. We've been through a lot and we've done a lot of things together. But I love my man, but he does some stalker things like wait outside my house till I get home. I really think he's the one. Should I marry him or run? Stalker things. Why would you kiss a stalker? Why would you invite a stalker in your house? Why would you spend a night and then the holiest of holies, the Holy Grail? Why would you be intimate with a stalker? Now, maybe, I'm sorry, Sheila from San Diego, maybe it's not stalker things. Maybe he's not the only person coming over your house, and that's a little bit inconvenience for him to be hanging out when you have somebody coming over to help you pay half your rent, and there's another guy coming to pay the other half, and another guy coming to pay the car note, and another guy coming for the bag for you to go to Melrose. Stalker things, nah. Maybe the guy likes you because that's a harsh word, and you call the cops on people like that. So it's obvious he's not somebody deemed to call the cops on. Maybe he's just a nice guy that facilitates a need, but you're not being honest with yourself, nor are you being honest with him. It's time to take him out of the make-believe relationship zone and put him in the friend zone and let him know this is all you ever be. I don't like you like me. I've been using you, and I apologize. I'm being honest with myself, and I have to be honest with you. And if that puts me on a park bench with some newspaper, I'm willing to do that because I'm going to stop using people, multiple people, to facilitate the lifestyle that I feel I should need. So don't get mad at me, Sheila. I'm just saying. Welcome to the Art of Love with Dr. O, and I'm yours truly, Dr. O. And this week we're talking about, let's just ask Dr. O and see what he thinks about some of these questions that are coming in. Interesting. I love, this is one of the important parts of the show that I really like because it allows me a personal communication with individuals one on one. So next question comes from Aaron from Los Angeles, California. Me and my wife in an open relationship. We play with each other, with other women together. I'm starting to believe that my wife is becoming jealous, and it makes me feel funny because she brought this whole situation to the table. One thing that I've learned about situations like this is that when a woman's in love with you, there's nothing that she won't do to please you. And even though she brought it to the table, she could have known that it was probably your desire inside of you. Unconsciously, you may have talked about it. You may be on different settings on your apps and stuff on your phone, computer, and, she sees the way you look at certain movies and certain things. So she may have brought it up just to test the waters to see how you felt about it. I had a client, he was a professional gentleman of leisure, and he told me that him and his wife went to Vegas, and this whole same scenario that you're asking me about, she finally wanted to go to Vegas with him to be with another lady, and he said, "Art, I learned something, and this is something that you should take into consideration." He said, "When I was in Vegas with my wife, everything was amazing. I I couldn't believe, that it was actually happening. I was so excited. The woman was extremely beautiful. My wife was into her. She was smiling. And, we went out to dinner, had a great time. And then we came back to the hotel room and we just eased into it. And everything was truly amazing. At least I thought it was. The smiles that I thought that my wife was giving me wasn't smiles that she was enjoying this. It was smiles of she knew that this was the desires of my heart. Even though they wasn't the desires of her heart, she loved me enough to want to see me happy. But at the same time, I enjoyed it a little bit too much. That I really believe that those smiles were smiles of enjoyment, that I was so far gone and caught up into it. I couldn't see that I was losing my wife in the midst of me enjoying such sweet pleasures. You know, Goldie told me, he said, "Art, if you have someone that you love, never, ever put yourself in this situation unless you're willing to lose them, like I lost my wife." That's just food for thought. Food for thought. You have to remember when people love each other, there isn't anything they wouldn't do to please you. But sometimes we have to take it upon ourselves to say, what kind of effects will this have on our relationship? And remember those two-letter words that are extremely powerful. The older you get, the more use you find in using this word, and that is no. No. Now, I'm not going to advocate this or speak on it or encourage people to do this, but if this is a desire that you've always had, most people would say, well, you need to get that out of your system before you get married. But if it's something that you feel you need to get out of your system, I had another client that told me, Art, I love my wife. And as you can see, she loves me. I said, that's the obvious. You guys been married over 55 years, man. How did you do it? And If you ask his wife, she knows not only has her husband never cheated on her, nor has he even entertained the thought of doing such things. But when I took him to the back and spoke to him at the shampoo bowls, I said, "How did you do it, man? 55 years." And at the time, I was just 2 years into a marriage. I said, "I see all the distractions and the temptations that I get. How did you do it? 55 years, and I'm just 2 years in." He said, "I love my wife." And I told him, "I love my wife too. But how do you deal with the distractions and the temptations?" He said, "I love my kids." I told him, "I love my kids too. But how do you deal with the distractions and the temptations?" He lifted his head up from the shampoo bowl, looked left, looked right, made sure nobody else was around, and he gave me the jewels. I'm not advocating this. I'm just telling you a simple story that actually happened. And you draw from it whatever you want to draw from it. 55 years married, and his wife knows without a shadow of a doubt that her husband never cheated on her, nor has he ever entertained the thought. When he lifted his head, he told me, "Art, if I ever had anything to do, I went far away and I didn't tell no one." Well, how far is far away? If you don't feel comfortable enough to put on some flip flops, tank tops, and a short and mow the lawn, and you're not scared about somebody seeing you, then you're not far enough away. But I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying, instead of you having a situation with your wife and not realizing that this would be the demise of your marriage, you might want to look at some alternatives and keep your marriage pure. Although there are others out there that would say, well, it's not pure if he's cheating. Well, that's in the eye of the beholder, and that's beyond between them and God. That's not our relationship. We focus on our relationship. We focus on us, on what's going on with us, because it's so much beyond us. It's so much going on within our relationship that if more people focused on loving themselves, their significant other, and what's going on in their relationship, I believe the world might be just a better place. Welcome to the Art of Love with Dr. O, and I'm yours truly, Dr. O. To all my love angels out there in love land, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. There is no feeling in the world like the love you give yourself. And remember, every time I close the show, I always say, until next time, make sure that loving you is a priority thing for you to do. How many of y'all do it? Or do y'all just, once the show is off, y'all just forget about those words? They're very powerful. I say it to you so that even when you're not even thinking about it, you're doing it. So make sure you practice that, because depending on love from somewhere else, there's a greater chance you'll be disappointed in the love you give yourself. So we're going to go ahead and ease right into one of my favorite segments. I think all of them are favorite segments, but this segment right here, it allows me to get closer to you guys, and we're just going to slow it down, and we're going to go ahead and get through these questions, and that's Ask Dr. O. Let's see what Dr. O thinks about these questions. Now, I have clients that come, they sit in the chair, and it's therapy session. I mean, the haircut is already going to be nice. They already know what that's going to be, but I think that a lot of them is good therapy. You know, some of my clients' parents, they bring their kids and they say, I ask them, why did you, I just tapered his hair, that's like 5-7 minutes. Why did you give me $100? And they say, well, Art, it's a lot easier for me to bring my child to you than to go to a therapist. So, you see it one end one way, and then on another end, it's another way. So it's like, that's a nice price for 7 minutes, but on the other end, it's like he's saving money because the therapist isn't going to keep it as real as I'm going to keep it real. So let's go ahead and get into these questions with asked Dr. O. Dr. O, my family complains that I don't spend enough time with them due to working so much, but they don't complain about the fruits of my labor. Big house, nice cars, vacation, money in the pocket, etc. Baller. When I tell them once I don't work as much, the lifestyle will change, they don't want that, but they still complain. What do I do? Well, you can get a nice tent and some bus passes and sit them all down and say, hey, see that tent in the backyard? It's a nice camping tent, high quality. There's enough room for all of us. All 7 of us can get in there. And some nice sleeping bags. Is that what you want? A tent and bus pass? Or would you like to continue to live the lifestyle that the fruits of my hard labor is providing you? Of course, they don't care what comes out of your mouth. They enjoy the lifestyle that's provided to them, and they're still going to complain. But let them know Dad loves going to work because it puts a smile on his face to know that you guys are happy with the fruits of his labor. And at the same time, remember that it's better for you to continue to provide that lifestyle and to have them complain than the other way around. Because if you wasn't providing that lifestyle and it was different, they're still going to complain. So it's best that you provide it, and any extra time that you get, try your best to spend it with them. But at the same time, let them know when you start working, you'll understand, especially if you live in California, which you do. Aaron from Chino Hills, the toppity top of Chino Hills. The house that's getting ready to fall off the cliff by the 71, Chino Hills. Yeah, just let them know Daddy got to go to work. Let's get into this next one. Dr. O, this question isn't about my spouse. He's great. It's me. How do I learn to trust him after being hurt in the past? Wow. And this is coming from Lene. Lene from Bradbury. Got a couple of people in Bradbury that loves this show. Dr. O, this question isn't about my spouse. He's great. It's me. How do I learn to trust after being hurt in the past? So when you said that it's not about your spouse, he's great, it's me, then you're admitting to yourself that you have a good thing, Lene. And you don't want to lose that with issues from the past. Did you ever forgive your past issues? Because the longer you hold on to them, it's only going to destroy your life. See, when we think about the things that we've been through in our past and we continue to harbor on them and they're not positive, it's only destroying us. For the people that dished out that nonsense, they're not even thinking about us. You have to forgive them and send all that negativity back to where it was. The past is stated the past for a reason, because that's exactly what it is. You shouldn't allow your past to control your present or dictate your future if it isn't positive. So, Lene, there's counseling, there's mental health, and there's you loving yourself. That helps a lot. And don't lose out on a good thing, allowing your past to control your present or dictate your future. You win when you forgive it and you leave it in the past. You have a beautiful present, a beautiful future. And if this gentleman's never giving you any reason to feel that way, my advice to you is protect your happiness. And how you protect your happiness in your present and your future is leaving your past exactly where it's at. in the past. All right, this next one. I've been with this guy for 2 years. I have no complaints. Yeah, everybody always say he ain't got no complaints about him. He's a great guy, but I'm just bored with him. How do I leave but not hurt his feelings? Oh, man. Tanya from Pomona. Tanya, why you playing games? See, I was talking to some clients the other day, and, you know, I have ladies that ask me, where are all the good men? And I have guys that ask me, where are all the good ladies? And I explained to them, I found out where all the good guys and all the good ladies are. Is there anybody out there in Loveland that can answer this question? If you've been watching the show long enough, you should know the answer. And that is, where are all the good men? Where are all the good women? They're catering to people that they shouldn't be in relationships with. Okay? Okay, Tanya? Got a good man? Bored? Tired of him? Paying the bills? Helping you live in this world? You need some excitement. You want somebody to lie to you. Oh, baby, I got to go. Man, somebody just called me. I didn't even see my phone. You called me, baby? Oh, man, I'm sorry, baby. I was just about to get that money if you would have told me. Man, the banks was closed. Oh, man. That's what you want, huh, Tanya? You want a knucklehead. You want a knucklehead. A lot of ladies love the excitement of knuckleheads. I even asked this one lady, why you even put up with them? And she gave me an answer. She said, because they easy. Because they easy. Art. Okay? And that's fun, and that's all excitement. But hit 30, when that rent due, that mortgage due, that car note due, them lights and that gas, you know what I'm saying? The lights and that gas, okay? When all that's due, and all you got from that knucklehead is, oh, man, I'm waiting on a homie to bring the money. Like, oh, man, the banks is closed. Okay? The manager of your complex don't care about his stories. They want that money. And if you a penny short, hold on to that. Hold that and move. Back that U-Haul up. Because I got somebody that's going to be up in here that ain't going to be a penny short. So, Tanya from Pomona, be careful what you're letting go of. If it's a good guy. I didn't hear no complaints. I didn't see you didn't say no complaints. You said, I have no complaints about him. But you're bored. You know, when you're bored, maybe you're not bored with him. Maybe you're bored with yourself. That's who you're really bored with. It ain't got nothing to do with him if he's a good guy. Maybe it's the time to do some soul searching, get to love yourself. Be honest with yourself. Tanya, you can't be honest with nobody else if you're not honest with yourself. Stop playing them games, because what happens when you play one too many games? The game in the end gets played on you. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed that. And it's definitely that time where we got to go ahead and fade to black. But before I do, I just want you guys to know I really appreciate all my love angels out there in Love Land, and anyone that would like to reach out and ask questions or come on the show. You can reach us at the Art of Love Pod or any social media platform for that matter. And feel free to tell a friend. If you have anybody out there that's going through something, they want to get a better understanding of love. Does he love me? Does she love me? Am I wasting my time? Hey, you definitely found the right place. And remember, all you have to do is just reach out to me. The Art of Love Pod, any social media. I'll be there for you. And until next time, make sure that loving you is a priority thing for you to do.